Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your home is going into foreclosure and you feel like a financial wreck. You don't know where to turn for accurate information. I'm bankruptcy attorney Travis Gagne. Let's talk about some legal options. If we work quickly, we can propose a plan to save your home, modify the loan, or in many cases even eliminate your second mortgage. The consultation is free. I've helped hundreds of people just like you make informed decisions about whether to save their home or exit it on a reasonable, organized timeline. The chapter you choose sets the tone for the next chapter of your life. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
Let's play Beat Migs.
It's time to play the game. Yeah. So everybody scream his name. Beat Migs, don't be a loser. Whoa. Beat Migs, you're a loser.
It is time to beat Migs. This time it turned down for tequila, right?
Charge out for what?
Wow,
Tequila. Forgot we're doing that.
yeah, so we're turning down for tequila. We've gone from tacos to tequila.
Why not? We've grown.
Yeah, we have.
We hit legal age, and now we're just, gonna do that.
Perfect.
All right, let's get to our contestant. We got John in Belfair. John, are you there?
I'm here.
Excellent. Steve, get out of here.
Goodbye.
For those playing at home, John will have 60 seconds to answer 10 questions. John, you can pass all you want, but you'll only get 3 guesses per question. Are you ready?
Let's get after it.
Leah Remini played Carrie Heffernan opposite of Kevin James on what television series?
Pass.
With Home Improvement, the term DIY means what?
Do it yourself.
Yes. What did the touch of Midas turn everything into?
Gold.
Yes. According to the Bible, who received 30 pieces of silver for the betrayal of Jesus?
King of Queens is that other one, and
Yes.
I think it was Lucifer.
No.
Moses.
No.
Pass.
Oslo is the capital of what European country?
Norway.
Yes. What Ivy League school is located in Massachusetts?
Harvard.
Yes. Which brand of hot sauce was first produced in 1868 in Louisiana?
Sweet Baby Ray's.
No.
Tabasco.
Yes. What is the better-known name of the card game 21?
Blackjack.
Yes. Which character did Courtney Cox play on Friends?
Monica.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Correct.
Ooh, all right.
Right on.
We'll see how this goes.
Yeah, we will have to see how this goes. Now, don't say anything, BJ, because yesterday you were hoping for a song because the contestant did very well, and it ended up as a tie, and nobody got a song.
Yeah, but you know what? That's still a win for me.
Oh, okay. So as long as Steve doesn't get a song, you consider that a win.
Because Steve, he gets a song, he thinks he's actually a champion of something, and we have to stop that kind of controversy.
All right, then.
That fake news has to stop.
Steve, you're back. Are you ready?
I like turtles.
Me too. Leah Remini played Carrie Heffernan opposite of Kevin James on what television
King of Queens.
series? Yes. With Home Improvement, the term DIY means what?
Do it yourself.
Yes. What did the touch of Midas turn everything
Gold.
into? Yes. According to the Bible, who received 30 pieces of silver for betraying Jesus?
Judas.
Yes. Oslo is the capital of what European country?
Norway.
Yes. What Ivy League school is located in Massachusetts?
Harvard.
Yes. With which brand of hot sauce was first produced in 1868 in Louisiana?
Frank's.
No.
Put that. Tabasco?
Yes. What is the
I don't know why
better
my
known
voice-
name of the card game 21?
Blackjack.
Yes. Which character did Courtney Cox play on Friends?
Monica.
Yes. What is the pure spirit distilled from wine?
Vodka.
No.
Sangria.
No.
Man.
Man?
Man.
No. Not man. Steve
comes from wine.
so close to a perfect 10.
I thought I had it, and you had another question. I was like, oh, crap, I haven't hit 10 yet.
But you got 9 and the win. You
Ooh,
win
so
9
close,
to
John.
8.
So close, John.
Ooh, really close.
Well, thanks for
game,
playing,
Steve.
buddy.
Take care, my friend.
I'm that star up in the sky.
Oh, there we go.
I'm that mountain peak up high. Hey, I made it.
Just disappointing.
Rosé?
No, it's not
No.
Rosé. You can keep trying with that one.
Vicky knows this.
Yeah, Vicky should know it. She worked at a bar.
Oh, I'm blinking right now.
Oh, no. So, yeah.
I thought it was vinegar.
Champagne.
Okay, somebody said vinegar, which is not right.
Oh, that would be me.
Yeah, because that's not a pure spirit. That's just what wine basically turns bad into.
Oh.
No. And what did you say, champagne?
I said champagne.
No, champagne is sparkling wine from the Champagne region in France. No, it's brandy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's brandy.
Wine turns into brandy? Oh, well, that's where they get brandy from.
Yep,
Okay.
that's how that. That's the pure spirit distilled from wine, everybody.
All right, then.
Look at that. You guys all learned something today.
Sure did.
And congrats, Steve. You won.
Yeah.
Dang, man. I thought I had 10 for 10, and when you asked the next question, I was like, damn it, I mapped this wrong.
Sorry, buddy.
Oh, well. Oh, well, I still won. That's all that matters, right, boys?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're not in the locker room, so I'm not really going to be excited or throw you a beer.
All right, fine. I won't see you in the shower.
Yeah. I'm also not going to go see you in the shower either. I'm not going to stay away from all that. Damn it. Reddit users, they made a list of all the unrealistic things you see a little too often in movies. And it is interesting because I have taken for granted so many things that I've grown up watching in movies and realizing that a lot of it isn't true. Like, it isn't easy to knock somebody out. It isn't easy to kill somebody by by strangling them. Like, all those things are really difficult, and it takes a long time to do.
Wait. You know that these things take a long time to do, Mr. Ridgway?
Mr.
Ridgway's
eyes.
There was a documentary or something I watched where it
Sure.
said,
Or something.
Right. Yeah. What was the name of it?
Death is Us or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I bet.
so-
I got one, and I just thought about it the other day when we were watching one of those action films that we were watching, the one with like Liam Neeson, I think it was. Or it was
Yes.
I can't remember what movie or television show it was, but it was just like insane gunfire, but nobody has good aim. Nobody ever hits the person that they're shooting at. It's like the guy's doing like little somersaults and rolls, and they just can't seem to figure it out. Like 15 people are shooting at the guy, and he's rolling through them all.
Yeah, you figure that a bullet would hit him.
Right.
Yeah, you really do. You do. I know. It's the stormtrooper effect. It's like, boy, the worst aim in the galaxy.
But if they didn't do that, I'd be weirded out. Like if all of a sudden they shot once and they nailed the guy, I'd be like, what the hell is going on here? Like it's just like I've been conditioned to think that in a movie, when you have a gunfight, it goes on forever, and people could just move. Like they could stand by like the crack of a door and be like, oh no, not hitting me.
And if they do get hit, they can immediately get up and walk and continue to fight for another 30 minutes.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Some of the fights you see where people get thrown against walls and smacked around, it's like, you should be like really like going to the ICU at this point instead of getting up. Somebody throwing you into a concrete pillar and you can get up.
I'd be crying like a child.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think I'd be paralyzed, really, if you throw me into a concrete pillar.
So that's the one for me that I just feel like is super unrealistic, but I don't want them to change it. I love how unrealistic it is. I love stupid action films.
Well, the one that's there's a few on here that actually I think we don't think about, but the one that I think is true, it'd be great if it was real life, is that no one has to wait for anything. As soon as they want a taxi, a coffee, or even a phone call, just like that, it happens.
My favorite, though, is, too, when they go to a bar, it's like, I'll have a beer. And then they get a beer. It's like, well, what kind of beer?
Well,
like
nobody paid for the product placement, Vicky.
Exactly. It's like, I want a coffee. It's like, not Americano, cappuccino. What do you want? Like, okay, well, here's your coffee.
Well, back in the simpler days, Vicky, it was just a coffee before Starbucks came along and made it all so complicated.
But would we really want to watch a movie where the guy's trying to flag down a taxi and like fails on like 5 attempts?
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Like
I've bitched about movies going too long. Now we're going to include waiting.
I've seen older movies where they like literally film the people walking down all of the stairs, and I'm like, guys, just cut this. You don't need to watch all this crap.
Exactly.
How about no one ever needs the bathroom?
No one ever goes to the bathroom.
You never watch them go to the bathroom, which is good, but I'm just saying it's that's unrealistic.
Unless it's Pulp Fiction and Vincent Vega gets shot in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Never seen it.
Well, there is that.
Or Lethal Weapon when Danny Glover's on the toilet, right?
Because it's part of the plot.
Right. Danny hasn't seen that one
No, I
either.
haven't seen that one either.
But it'd be great if all of a sudden in the middle of a gunfight, the guy rolls out of the way, doesn't get nailed, doesn't have to wait for a taxi, but makes it to the crapper in time.
Right. Or like, hold on, before the sex scene, I really need to, relieve myself.
They're real egregious.
Well, there's a mood killer.
Well, you never know.
I mean, yeah, that's a good point. You never see stuff like that. The egregious one for me, of course, it's as old school as ever, is the villain wasting time instead of killing the main character right away.
Oh, the monologues.
Yeah.
You need the suspense. You got to point the gun at the head and talk for a while. It gives them a chance to repower up so they could kick your gun and fight you again.
It was the dumbest thing ever.
If you watch the Incredibles movie, they talk about monologuing and how that's always the demise of the villain.
Yeah. Yeah, they break the fourth wall a little bit with that because it's obviously a plot device. It has to, like you said, it has to add suspense. But that used to be one of my old school jokes when I was doing stand-up comedy 30 years ago, was about the Riddler in Batman. It's like, how is this guy considered a mastermind? He actually leaves clues so he can get caught. Imagine being in his gang going, hey, Riddler, what do you say this time? We don't leave a clue so we can actually get away with the money and no one will catch us. You know, and but again, it's so unrealistic, and yet, what would life be if they didn't monologue, if they didn't go? It's like, imagine if they just shot the guy. That's what I loved about Indiana Jones. You know, the guy with the bullwhip and everything else, all that, and the guy with the big swords, I should say, and he just shot him. It was like, that was such a great nod to like, oh yeah, of course he's got a gun. That guy is not scary at all.
It was so unexpected when it happened. It was like, that's awesome.
I actually read somewhere that they had been filming all day and Harrison Ford had food poisoning and he had been in the bathroom and he had to do this elaborate fight scene. He was over it and he's like, screw it, and then just pulled the gun out and did that scene, and they kept it.
Oh wow, really?
Mm-hmm. According to the internet.
They should have included him taking a poop.
Yeah. They should have.
Yeah, they really
Before we fight, I got to go poop.
Yeah.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW. Hey, you got something to say? I got something to say. They're wild, rabid, and on the loose. This is Listeners on the Loose.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. Listeners on the Loose, where you pick the topic, you guide the show. 206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999. Whatever it is you want to talk about, do remember Steve does have a rule.
It's a simple rule, BJ. It's to show some energy and bring it. Otherwise, we're going to have to gong you. And then say goodbye.
Goodbye, old friend.
206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999. Shay in Seattle, you are on The Rock.
Hey, good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Shay. What you got for us, buddy?
So I was going to talk about, catching a roommate doing something. And so my roommate and his buddy took some acid and went to a Mariners game the night before. And I ended up waking up in the middle of the night, maybe around 3, sounded like a, leaky faucet. Something's on. I opened my door. And my roommate had his door open, and he's just taking a whiz right out of his door. Just
okay.
Peeing freely.
Oh,
and
that's lovely.
So unfortunately, I had to clean up all of his pee.
Wait, you had to? Oh, because he's on acid. You were just doing him a solid.
Well, he wasn't going to do it.
Yeah, and it's a good thing he wasn't doing a solid, actually.
Right. Oh yeah, good point.
Yeah, right.
Did you get to talk to him afterwards? I just want to know what the experience of being on a Mariners game on acid would be like.
Oh, he had a blast.
Oh, okay.
I guess him and his buddy were laughing it up, and, he just had a blast. But the first question he asked me, I was like, dude, what's up? What happened last night? And he's just looking at me with a blank stare. And I was like, dude, you were pissing all over. You just opened your door and you're peeing everywhere. And his first question was, so you saw my wiener?
Oh, yeah. Okay. That's the first question.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It's like, I would rather that as opposed to I had to clean up the great river you left me. Thanks, pal. That's wonderful.
I had a college buddy. We weren't roommates, but we lived in the same floor. And one time I spent the night at his place. Like after we were done with college, we went on one last hurrah in Long Island where he lived. And I remember, and he was known as a guy that was a serial peer. Like he would get wasted and then just creatively find places to go. Number one.
Oh boy.
To the point where girls that he was like a ladies dude. Like all the ladies wanted to hang out with him. And there were multiple instances of girls saying, yeah, I had to leave his dorm room because he woke up in the middle of the night and started urinating in either my purse or my backpack.
Oh, damn.
That
purse?
Yeah. He didn't and he would never remember it. So he would get so blacked out drunk, he would not remember being this serial peer. So I already knew all these stories, but I crashed at his place. And I remember in the middle of the night, I woke up and I just heard a sound above my head. And I was just instantly, even in a drunken stupor, I was like, please don't let it be what I think it is. And I'm like asleep on the floor, and I look up, and he's standing over me, and there's like this arch of his pee going over me.
Oh no!
Into my like sleep my like little duffel bag of my sleepover clothes.
Okay.
And I'm like, oh no, I'm being treated just like all the girls that he hooked up with. I'm like, you can't. This can't be happening. So I kind of crawl out of the way because I'm like, I don't want to even like startle him because he might hit me with it. I go pass out in another room. I wake up the next day, go grab my bag, and he's sitting on the couch, like hungover, watching TV. I grab my bag and I just drop it on him. I go, clean this. And he's like, why? I'm like, you did what you do. And he's like, no, I didn't. You did what you do. So then he had to go to laundry, cleaned it, and all that. He felt awful about it, but I was like, that's what you're known for.
At least it wasn't intentional. I thought when you said serial peer, I thought he was just the guy that would go to random doors or windows and just do it in front of everyone just because he didn't care.
No, it was never intentional.
I can not one up you necessarily, but I was hooking up with a girl in college who she would get blackout drunk, and I would wake up and we hooked up one night, go to bed, and I hear the door open, and I'm like, look, but she's at my closet door where I keep my hamper and with all my dirty clothes. And she sits down and just goes number one.
Lovely.
Over my clothes.
Congratulations, everybody.
And it was one of those things, like the next day I was like, do you remember doing that? She's like, no. And I was like, and she's just like, all right, see you later, and left. And I had to do my own laundry. And it was like, I should probably stop hooking up with her. I didn't, but in retrospect, I probably should have stopped hanging out with her.
It's an honest mistake.
Yeah.
I'm still friends with my friend Doug.
Who's
gone on actually do like a lot of like important stuff at like charitable causes. Like he's like a well-respected person. I'm like, if they only knew.
Yeah, really?
Right?
At least they did it in private. I had a party once, and Sarah would always invite a few extra people. And she's like, can I bring so-and-so and so-and-so? I'm like, yeah, sure. The more the merrier. And one of her guests, I lived in a townhouse in Greenwood, and we had a little balcony on the second floor. So he stood up on the cooler and just proceeded to urinate over the balcony. Luckily, nobody was underneath, but somebody could have been. And I'm just watching. I'm like, I'm not going to stop him. Like, what am I going to do? He's drunk, and I don't want to get, like you, I don't want to get it on me. And poor Sarah was mortified. I don't think we ever saw that guy again at any of our parties.
We had a buddy that when we went to Portland.
What is going on with all the pee buddies? Honestly,
pee buddies, dude. And this wasn't that long ago. It was a friend's like party, bachelor party thing. We went to Portland, and we were in the hotel, and we're, mind you, like right 8 or more flights up, like stories up. And by the end of the night, we look over him, and he's like, basically, like his whole pelvis is like pressed up against the window because those windows wouldn't open all the way. Like they just opened just enough to get a crack so he could get some air. And he worked it so that he could get his member out the window so he could pee out the window. Yeah. And we're like, what are you doing, dude? He's like, I just always wanted to do this. I'm like,
please tell me there wasn't a screen at least.
No, it was straight out. Okay. Like, in the middle of the night. I don't think anyone was walking underneath. I mean, this is like 5 a.m. But, oh, man.
Wow.
That must have been a sight.
It was awkward looking.
I kind of want to see it from both ends.
Right. Luckily, there was no hotel like across the street that could just see. Because that would be the weirdest thing. Because he's just like pressed up against the window, like just trying to work it out there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just picturing like, what if it got stuck? Imagine the scenario of having to call somebody to come and get it unstuck.
Yeah, it's a whole news story at that point.
If someone want to know who's your friend, Steve? R. Kelly? Yes, actually. His real name is Doug.
Yeah. That is delightful.
You don't have any friends that are doing this with you, BJ?
No, I don't. I don't have any pee buddies. I really don't. Sorry, man. 206-421-ROCK, Texas at 77999. Let's go to the Holler. And Lacey, Holler, you are on the Rock. Oh, hold on a second, Holler. You should be on the Rock, and press the right button. There we go. You're on the Rock, Holler.
What's going on, BJ?
Hey, buddy. Welcome to the show. What you got?
Of course, my boy Stan. Hey, I got a couple days ago, you guys were talking about things that you kind of might still be into that other people might find embarrassing or are kind of weird that you're still into, at your age. And I got two things that I'm still into. One, I guarantee you'd probably be right along with me, BJ, and that would be Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh yeah, well, I'm not surprised you're into that. I mean, you and I are in the same demographic, so that makes a lot of sense.
I've been into that for probably 20 years.
Yeah, I outgrew that. But I guess that's the best way I say it because, I mean, there's so much out there that's like Dungeons & Dragons and so many board games where you don't even need a dungeon master. But there are people that still love it. I mean, I kind of just got my fill of it. And but I know, Rev, you still have a D&D group, don't you?
Oh, yeah. I've got a Tuesday game and then some other ones as well. I love Dungeons & Dragons.
So, though, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me, but I imagine a truck driver, if somebody just would have never imagined a truck driving dude like yourself would be into that. That makes sense. What else are you into that people go, really?
I'm actually, and I collect it. I'm actually collecting and still into He-Man cartoon.
Oh, nice, man!
I love the universe. Castle Grayskull. I mean, all of it. I'm still into it.
Yeah, I'm having a battle actually with some of my friends because some of my friends are about 10, 15 years younger than me, and they're into He-Man as well, just like Steve and Rev talking about it. It's out of my demo. I was too old for that show. And I also have a bone to pick with Skeletor because I just think he is a very bad ripoff of Dr. Smith from the old Lost in Space. And I fight with my buddy Josh about this all the time.
No, I thought you were going to say he was a very bad ripoff of you because he sounds a lot like you when you get mad at people.
It's the sorceress, you boob.
Yeah.
I heard that before.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, listen, I consider myself patterned after Dr. Smith, basically, where I was annoyed at the world and a little whiny. Yep.
You flea-bitten fur brain.
And I could see where Skeletor and I also have similarities.
You pathetic pair of pitiful pinheads.
I heard that one before, too. Yeah.
Skeletor sounds like such a dork, but he was so badass.
Yeah.
Well, I guess he was kind of a dork, but he was a badass dork.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW. BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. It's listeners on the loose. You pick the topic. You guide the show. 206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999. Joe in Oak Harbor, you are on The Rock.
Hola, bichola.
Hey. Hola, Joe, hola. Don't forget the afternoons, the men's room right here on The Rock. What you got, Joe?
So a couple of weeks ago, you guys were talking about what brand of vehicles that you're loyal to.
Yes.
I'm loyal to the Ford. I got a 96 F-250 and a 85 Mustang GT that I've had for almost 22 years. But the most loyal car, well, Steve, what's your favorite kind of car?
I like the Ford Bronco and the Jeep Wranglers.
Well, you always say a free car.
Oh, yes, free car. Free car is the best car. You're absolutely right.
So a buddy of mine gave me his 92 Honda Accord that I had for about 8 years, and it had almost 450,000 miles before it actually blew up.
It literally blew up?
I was during the summertime, I was traveling back and forth to Kalispell, Montana. And the last time I was going over the Vantage Bridge, and that's a pretty long span of bridge, if you know the Vantage Bridge, going to Eastern Washington, the Gorge.
Yeah.
I was in fifth gear going over the bridge, and right when I got on the bridge, I heard this bang. And I thought I hit maybe a pothole or a crack in the road or something. When I looked in the rearview mirror, I saw nothing but smoke.
Oh, boy.
So the car was starting to lose momentum, so I downshift into fourth, and there's nowhere to pull over on that bridge. Absolutely nowhere. So I finally get up around, cross the bridge, and I downshift into third to get more momentum, and I basically look like one of those stunt planes with the smoke coming out.
Man.
So as I go to the left, the car is just smoking. So I finally get over the bridge, pulled over to the right, pop the hood, and the motor is actually on fire.
Oh, damn.
So I get in the car, and I had a bunch of water bottles, start pouring water on the motor. Well, come to find out, it threw a connecting rod right through the engine block. So all that oil was just spewing onto my exhaust manifold, and it was just on fire. So I got the fire out, which was good because I had all my stuff in my car, and I'm on the side of the road. And that was it for that car. And I had it for a good 8 years, and it had almost 450,000 miles on that thing.
Dude, my wife had a Honda Accord, and that thing, I mean, she that was the joke. It's like, as soon as the car dies, we'll get you a new car, but it never would die. Like, it's just like this, like, it just would keep going and going. No matter, as soon as you think maybe it's about to go, nope, still got another X amount of thousands of miles into it. Finally, we decided, like, she's like, I just need a new car. I'm like, yeah, I think we've waited long enough.
Yeah,
it's impressive how long those things last.
Though 400,000 miles, I'm not taking that car on a long trip. I'm not taking any car on a long trip with 400,000 miles. You're pushing your luck.
I mean, there's a risk, I guess, in everything we do in life, BJ. But my old Jeep,
400,000 miles?
My old Jeep, the Wrangler I had over 400,000 miles.
Did it really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Well, maybe it's not as many miles as I think it is.
Well, I mean, I made sure, oil changes, kept up on things. I wasn't like, just like, see what happens. Like, I was doing everything I can. I really wanted to go as far as I possibly could with that thing. And if it wasn't for the fact that we were having a kid, the idea of trying to have a child seat in a 2-door Jeep Wrangler seemed like a nightmare.
That's not happening, man.
No. Yeah. And now having a kid I couldn't even have imagined trying to pull that off. That would have been a disaster. So that was the reason why I got rid of it. Otherwise, I had no intention of getting rid of that thing. I was going to drive it until it died.
Wow.
And even when I brought it in, they looked it over and they're like, your Jeep is in great shape, especially that it has over 400,000 miles on it.
Damn. I don't think I've ever had a vehicle with that many miles. I've never traveled that much. But you have a really long commute, so that makes sense.
And I also had the Jeep right around when I first started dating Sid, and I was living in Linwood. She was living in Puyallup, so there was a lot of going back and forth.
Oh, yeah.
So that put a ton of miles on it at first, and then I made the smart decision to move out of Linwood and move to Puyallup.
Right.
But now it's Puyallup to Seattle every day.
Yeah, exactly.
Sometimes twice a day if I was doing stuff at night.
Oh, well, yeah, that'll put the $400,000 on there.
Yeah.
Damn. 206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999. It's listeners on the loose.
Somebody wanted to know, if you had to eat only one appetizer for the rest of your life, what appetizer are you going with?
Dude.
I love the food questions.
Yeah.
That's easy.
Is it?
Oh, yeah. So easy.
No-name cakes don't count, BJ.
Yeah, that's dessert.
You guys don't know me. I guess you don't know my favorite appetizer, and probably
Brussels
because
sprouts.
You never.
What?
That's it. You guys have not been to many Indian restaurants with me, so you wouldn't know this.
Naan bread.
That's not an appetizer in my mind.
The paneer.
That's a dinner.
The paikoras.
Yes, close. It's actually Paikoras was a great pizza place, wasn't it?
Yes.
But Pakoras is
Pakoras.
Pakoras. Yeah.
Paikoras was in Capitol Hill. That was an awesome pizza spot.
Yeah. Pakoras and swimming. Give me extra tamarind sauce. That's an appetizer that's if it's the only one I can ever have for the rest of my life, I will take it. And veggie pakoras, meat pakoras, whatever pakoras you want to give me.
Oh, man. So I don't think, do we consider French fries to be an appetizer?
No.
Okay. It's a side.
It's a side, yeah.
You can order it as an appetizer, but it's not.
I feel like it'd have to be like loaded fries or something like that. I might, this is hard, man. Because I don't view chicken wings as an appetizer. I know they're sold in some places as that, but I will get that as a meal.
Yes.
Yeah,
so
I
these
agree.
are my rules.
Okay.
I'm going mozzarella sticks.
Oh, good call.
Yeah, I'm going to miss those.
Why are you going to miss them?
Because I can only have one.
Oh, fair.
Yeah, and pakoras.
Pakoras.
Yeah, but mozzarella sticks are one of my favorite appetizers. I am going to miss them.
Yeah, I think that's the first thing that popped into my mind. And if it's on a menu at a restaurant I'm going to, I always am leaning towards getting the mozzarella sticks.
That makes sense.
How about you, Rev? Only one appetizer for the rest of your life.
I really like mozzarella sticks, but they get hard too quickly.
That's why
that's never been a thing that anyone's ever said to me.
So I'm going with the frickle. A good old fried pickle.
Those are good.
You can have those. As a matter of fact,
I will. I'll eat them all.
Yeah,
fried pickles are good, but I don't know if I could have them every time I was going to have a meal.
I could absolutely have them single time.
Do you get the full dill fried, or are they chipped? Are they sliced up into chips?
I prefer the chipped ones because you can just pop them in your mouth, and it's mindless eating, which is
that's better.
A bad thing, but I will just eat them all.
I don't mind those. When somebody gives me like a dill spear kind of a thing,
those
fried.
Are the best.
The problem is that you basically it's almost like the onion rings where you all of a sudden you're eating batter and then you got this really hot pickle.
Onion rings too. Damn.
Yeah, I'm with you, BJ. I'd rather them be like the chips of the pickled chips because that way the batter is all around it.
Exactly.
B-dubs.
Yeah, the B-dubs
are.
Hooters also had good ones back in the day.
Back in the day,
and they also had good fried pickles too.
Yes. See, with me mozzarella sticks, I feel like you just can't f that up. And if you can, there's a talent. I can in all different types. Like they have the ones that are like kind of like triangled.
Yes.
All types of.
Have you had those at
mozzarella
have you had those at Maggiano's, Steve? The fried triangles.
Oh my gosh, I'll go there just for those.
Oh, I know, and I'm going to miss those. They're fantastic. They're the best mozzarella like appetizer I've ever had. Is the Maggiano's one.
There's a restaurant that Lily likes to go to on the East Coast called Friendly's.
Yeah.
And
Friendly's is the bomb, Danny. That's our place.
I didn't know about it, and she's just like, Dad, we got to go because they serve 30 mozzarella sticks when you order as an appetizer. And so they're little tiny ones. They're the most adorable things ever, and I love them.
Oh, Danny, you made me, you know what? Oh, I mean, nobody knows Friendly's because it's just a New England thing or even, or a Massachusetts thing now.
It's got like an Applebee's vibe to it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But
They were known for super great ice cream treats and super great shakes. Friendly's.
Speaking of which, I mentioned Applebee's because it was on my mind. I don't know if you've seen this. It's resurfaced. People have been sharing it on social media, on Twitter. It's video. It's like a video piece that ESPN did when Marshawn Lynch was first drafted by the Buffalo Bills, and he goes to celebrate at an Applebee's and a Dave & Buster's, and it's just like, it just shows you like, okay, this is the Marshawn that we were all going to eventually have in our life. Like he's just this fun-loving, random, having a blast. He loves as he calls it, the decor over at Applebee's. And I think it was Kenny Mayne that might have been the one doing the report, but like the announcer guy's like, the rookie has spent most of his signing bonus on skee ball, but he doesn't care. Because he's just playing skee ball at like Dave & Buster's. The video is awesome. It's out there on social media.
That is so awesome. See, you're absolutely right, Steve. That is the fun-loving Marshawn right there.
And then it's like it shows him behind the bar pouring his own soda, and he's just having fun with the sounds that it makes. It's a pretty fun. Knowing Marshawn, like how everyone does now, like from the pieces that you've seen in the videos and the randomness that he is, it's just like, okay, he's always been this way.
Man. Wow.
Are we counting chips and salsa as an appetizer?
Yes.
Oh,
man. I feel like that to me is a Mexican restaurant appetizer. Well, gosh, that's almost a complimentary.
They just bring it to you. That's not even an appetizer.
Okay.
That's
Just be like
free.
bread.
Yeah,
Okay.
but it's tough
That's
though,
a good
Vicky,
point. It
because
is like bread.
Because I was like, I would pick chips and salsa because you can't go to a Mexican restaurant without getting chips and salsa. You can't take that away from me.
yeah,
But if that doesn't count,
And
fried mac and cheese, man.
Fried mac and cheese.
How do you guys
those
not know
mac and
that?
cheese
The
balls?
Yeah. So it's the pretzels and cheese. There's your winner.
There you go.
You know what I've been doing with fried mac and cheese, Vicky? I've discovered, I mean, usually you can pop them by themselves, but I've been mixing it with barbecue sauce. I don't know why
Nice.
fried mac and cheese with barbecue sauce
That sounds
is better
great.
than... Yeah, well, usually I did marinara or, because I never thought of barbecue and cheese. I don't know why. I mean, of course it is together, but yeah. Oh, with mozzarella sticks, I do with marinara. I wouldn't think of doing mozzarella sticks with barbecue. Not that it would be bad, but I always go marinara. But with fried mac and cheese, it's like I want barbecue.
Sometimes it's like more like it's like a 90-10 ratio when it comes to like how I'm dipping it. But like I'll get also like a side of ranch and dip my mozzarella sticks in a couple of the mozzarella sticks with
It's not
ranch.
bad.
But still, I want the mozzarella sauce.
Yeah.
For the main amount.
Yes. How about
ranch goes good with everything.
How about loaded baked potato skins?
Those are pretty
with
good.
a bunch of bacon on it.
Yeah.
I haven't had those in a long time.
What about jalapeno poppers?
Oh, good call.
Yeah, but if I can't give up pakoras for those. They're good, but I just can't give up pakoras for those.
Have you guys had the armadillo eggs from the Ram?
What is that?
It's like a jalapeno popper with chicken and cream cheese or something.
Oh, yes, I have.
They are
yes.
the most delicious, weirdest looking things I've ever seen in my life.
I've never had those. I have a Ram right by my house.
I recommend going and getting these. They
My
are
day is planned.
fantastic. They
Yeah,
look really
I
weird
was-
because they're little. They look like eggs.
Yeah.
I was up at Northgate, which is now North Station, I think, or Northgate Station. I forget. They renamed that whole area. But the first time I was up there at the Ram, somebody took me. I forgot they were armadillo eggs, but they gave me those, and they were so good.
They look awesome.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I forgot. No, we got to go to the Ram now.
So somebody says chips and salsa and bread, starters, not appetizers.
Truth.
What's the difference between a starter and an appetizer?
You start off your meal with that.
Yeah.
And then you get your appetite going, but you've already got your appetite going with the starter, haven't you?
Well, like usually you get it either when you get your drinks or
complimentary.
before. So I feel like that's what a starter would be, like as you get your drinks or before you get your drinks.
I kind of feel like the appetizer is supposed to get your appetite going. So the starter kind of says, oh, F that noise.
How about the people that eat sushi as an appetizer?
That's just stupid. Edamame is the starter there.
Oh, good
True.
call.
You go right into the sushi.
Yeah.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. Here's another question from a listener. Can I leave things off of a bankruptcy, like my car?
You have to list all of your assets and creditors when you file bankruptcy. So you would have to tell the court and the trustee that you have the car or that you have a car loan. You could say that I want to keep my car and continue to make my payments on the car. But the court will need to know that you have a car and that you may have a payment on the car. So by leaving it off the bankruptcy, if you mean that you cannot disclose it to the court, the answer to that is no, you must disclose it. However, that does not mean that you'll lose those assets. You'll be able to keep things like a car and a house in almost all cases, but you must disclose them to the court. But you'll need to continue to make payments on a house or a car that you intend to keep.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com. Thanks for listening.